Hello guys, so hope you got some crux of PHP in the previous video, and we made a program that we made an API that could connect the database to the whatever service you're using. Okay, so now we'll make an API that will help us update the values of temperature and humidity, or update the values that is through the GET request sent by the node MCU or ESP12E. So we'll just start by making, okay, just select the language as PHP so that the highlighting and all takes place, and I have not saved it. You can save it later on. So now we'll make an API called update.php. This will be the name of the API. What it does is that it will take in the values like temperature and humidity values, two values. Okay, these are two values. It will take in these two values and it will store those values in the database. Okay, the job of this API would be getting or fetching the two values. This can be any number of values. Okay, I have written two values because I have, in this project we are just fetching two values that is temperature and humidity, but it can be any number of values. Okay, two values, and saving it in the database. So this will be done by this API. So we had made in the previous video we had made an API that would help us in connecting. Okay, so that API was like a header file. Okay, just link these things. Okay, it was like a header file, and what we used to do in C programming is that I'm making this video in perspective of people who don't know web development and backend stuff, and they know C programming and Arduino. So I think you guys may be well versed with this. Include blah blah blah, include something dot h. Okay, stdio dot h. Okay, you used to do this thing, right? This thing used to call this header file, and the header file used to call the C source file, and it used to get included in the old code. So similarly, in this API too, we need, in every API we'll need the connection. Okay, the database has to be connected to the application that we are using. So we'll call the API that is the connection.php API. Imagine it is like a header file. Okay, so now you just have to call the include. There is a function called include, and this function takes in as the API. Okay, now with this function it is included. Okay, the connection.php is included. Now the second thing is that I told you that we'll fetch two values. Okay, the first value would be temperature, and uh, this would be will be getting these values as a get request. Okay, there are two types of HTTP request. Okay, the one is get and one is post. Here we will be using get request. Okay, so you can know about this better through Google, or you can just search and you just know about it. This is out of the scope here. So syntax mistake, get, and this would be temperature. Okay, it was in small letters. temperature. Okay, I'll give this as temperature 2, temperature, and the second one was humidity. I told you that this is a variable, and whatever we are fetching from the temperature, okay, it will be stored in this variable. Okay, humidity get okay. So we have just written the get request, and now after this, so here too we'll have some corner cases. Corner cases like, suppose you just make a get request but you just don't enter any values, like you're trying to send some values and sometimes no values are sent, okay, like blank. Suppose you are sending some values like 0 and 12, okay. 0 is for temperature and humidity, okay. This is a valid value, okay, so this should be sent. But what if you're sending some blank values, okay. Okay, this is blank and another is blank, okay. Okay, this is not, like, we don't require these type of values, right, which are not neither number nor nothing, okay. We just don't require these type of values, so we have to exclude these values. So for that, now for that we have to write a conditional statement, okay, conditional statement like before for these type of corner cases. So in this thing, temperature should not be, okay, temperature should not be what, should not be blank, right. And just like C programming, okay, just don't get confused and just don't get scared. Follow these things and it is enough, okay, for just making this project. These all what I'm doing and what I'm going to tell you, it's enough for you, okay. Humidity, and even I am not hardcore web development guy, so if I can learn, you can also learn, so it's not that tough, okay. So if temperature is not blank and if humidity is not blank, then some value has come, okay. This means that this means that some value has to be fetched, okay. Some value has to be fetched, otherwise it will not be showing some, it will not be showing some right thing or something, okay. Now the second thing is, now what we need to do, we have fetched the values in temperature and humidity variables. Now we have to update these values, or we have to put these values in the database, right. So for this we need some SQL queries, okay. So now there are two options, okay. One is for inserting, okay. If you'll insert the value, okay, if you'll insert the value, it will be inserted one by one, okay. And if you'll I'll in this video I'll update the values. I'll tell you the reason why I'm writing update, okay, in the later videos, okay. I'll tell you the reason, okay. Just stay tuned. I'll tell you the reason why I'll be using update instead of insert. Update, okay. Now this would be a query, right. This would be a SQL query. So I'm writing this as, if the query happens, if the query runs, or the whole query is saved in query variable. So I'll just writing this down here. So I'll write down update, the name of our table was, so that's why I told you to remember the name of the table because Even I forgot. I think the name of the table is monitoring. Okay, so whatever you have written, just the name of my table was monitoring. Just give the name of your table here. Okay, after that, set update monitoring set. Okay, now this is the name of your column. Okay, temperature as, what do you want to set? You want to set it as the value that is fetched. Okay, and humidity as, what you want to set it as, the value that is fetched, right? After that, now I forgot something. You just have to sandwich these things in between single inverted commas. Okay, after that, just end it. This is the whole query. Okay, this is the query. In between double, oops, in between double inverted commas is the query, and the single inverted comma is the variables. Okay, so this is the query. Update monitoring, this is the table name. Update table name, set columns to these variables. Okay, I'll just write this down also. Just right here. Update table name, set column 1 comma 2 as variables. So this is the basic crux. So after the query, we need to know whether the query has run or not. Okay, so for that we'll just use a PHP function called mysqli query. This is a PHP inbuilt function that will take into, this will take in what? So in Notepad++, this is a cool feature that it will show you what the parameters it is going to take. So it will take in the link or the connection. Okay, and it will take in the query. Okay, so the link was, I'll show you, link was in this. Okay, so in the link connection we'll just have to write down this variable, and this variable is already included here. This whole file, it is up here because it is included. Just take it as a header file or something like that. Okay, it's not a header file, but you just, for your understanding, you take it as a header file. Okay, so now con and query so these two variables it takes. After that, now we also have to know, like we had done in this before, that suppose if it is connected, we should know that it is connected. So we store that value in con, right? Similarly, we'll store this thing in some variable called data. Okay, if the query is run, so it will be stored, the whatever it returns, it will be stored in data. And if something comes in data, if data is true, then we'll just echo data successfully in database. Okay, now this is done. Else what we need to do is that we just don't need to write else, okay? Or if doesn't happen, just write echo data not inserted. This is just for you to know, okay? Now this if was for, like, suppose if it's not blank, okay, if some value exists. Now if these two variables are blank, if it fetches blank values, then we just need to print out that no values or parameters, no values or parameters, and just close the thing. Okay, this is all about the new API that will update the values. Okay, now we'll save it as update.php. Okay, this is saved as update.php. Now there are two APIs done. Okay, the one more API left is the API that will display. Now firstly we'll just make use of these two APIs, and we'll do something, we'll do some hands-on, and at the last we'll go with the third API. Okay, so in the next video we'll be doing some hands-on, we'll insert some values in the database using these two APIs. Okay, so stay tuned.